What is up, fellow summoners, and welcome to the channel today. Happy Friday to you all. I love doing these because it means the weekend is upon us. I'm always in a really good mood, but I record these, so they're always a lot of fun. I say I'm always in a really good mood, but last week's had kind of a downer tone to it, which I really didn't intend for. I was just trying to give some critical, honest feedback based upon the Boss Rush Challenge and also the Goldblum I can't remember now, challenge that came out last week. And I think the point I was trying to make came across, but I think it rubbed some people the wrong way. But frankly, I don't care. So this week, it's only positive vibes. I think. I don't know. Let me look down at my cheat sheet here. By the way, you are listening to The Bottom Line, my poor man's edition of a podcast, because I'm too lazy to actually go figure out how to put together a real podcast. So this is this is what you got. Okay, so we're going to talk about... Oh, we got lots of stuff to talk about today. I had a big event that was announced that's coming up next month, the Champions of Valhalla. We had the leaked abilities for Thor and Hela, which came out like really late Thursday night. We'll talk about some of the recent Alliance War changes that have taken effect. I'm going to talk about the next Summoner Showdown, possibly, or just Summoner Showdown in general. Talk about some new stuff that has come to the channel, and I'm sure I'll blab on about something else. So, I hope that whatever you're doing, whether you are at work right now or you're home, I hope your work day goes quickly and your weekend is long. And I mean long in a good way, not like you're like sick, like sitting on the toilet with a terrible case of what my wife and I call taco booty, which is AKA diarrhea, which I don't know why. Why am I talking about diarrhea? Maybe it's because my son pooped 3 straight times last night. I told my wife it was like a magic trick. Like, I went in to change his diaper, I changed it, put a new one on him, and I'm like, something smells. Dang it, he's pooped in the diaper. I change it, put a new one on him. I'm like, something smells. Dang it, he did it again. And it was all silent. So, anyway, I know you guys don't come to the channel to find out about my son's bowel movements, but that's just kind of where I am in life right now. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's talk about the Champions of Valhalla event. And I suppose last week we were all kind of scratching our heads trying to figure out if the Goldblum challenge was dropped accidentally too early by Jeff over on Twitter. And that's the reason why they pushed it out. But now I'm kind of thinking that it might have been a tad bit early, but it wouldn't surprise me if they wanted that to come out before November, because there's a lot of stuff going on here in November with the Champions of Valhalla. I'm assuming they probably wouldn't want to announce the Champions of Valhalla and the Goldblum Challenge all at the exact same time. I feel like that might be a little bit of information overload. So, I don't know. Maybe I retract everything I said last week. But anyway, let's talk about this Champions of Valhalla. Essentially, I did a video on this. If you haven't seen it, I probably will do not quite as big of a breakdown here in the podcast as I did on that video, so certainly go check out that video. The link to that forum is also over in that video as well, that post on the forum, so you can read through it for yourself. But essentially, it is a month-long event where you're going to be earning Valor points, Valor chips, Valor units, whatever you want to call them. You're earning Valor. Very, very similar to like the Glory. You'll be able to spend it in a separate Valor store, I guess, just like the Glory store. It's kind of like Rocket's Scrap, except that there's not going to be like a separate special quest that opens up that you go in specifically to get the Scrap or specifically to get the Valor. You're going to be able to earn Valor by doing a lot of the normal things that you do throughout the month. So the special event for Thor Ragnarok that comes out every time that you complete easy, medium, hard, and master, I can't remember the difficulty levels there, but you're going to be earning Valor for all of that. I think in total it's like 2 million points if you 100% explore all of those difficulty levels. You will be earning Valor for all the milestones that you hit in the featured, 4-star featured arena only. No basic arena, no 3-star arena, only the 4-star featured arena. You'll earn them for milestones, so all the way up to 4 million points. Then depending upon where you rank at in that arena, you will earn Valor points. And then the two biggest changes is that there will be a solo event. I'm assuming the solo event will run every single day, would be my guess. It's called the Vanquishing Blows. Essentially, each solo event will award you points for finishing an enemy in a certain way. So like the first solo event may award points if you finish the enemy with a light attack. So if you're going through attacking the enemy and you throw a special to defeat them, you're not going to get any points. However, if the very last hit you do to kill them is a light attack, you're going to get the points. And it will continue to rotate through that. Light attack, medium attack, heavy, special 1, 2, and 3. Even finishing opponents with shock, bleed, poison, and I feel like there was one other one. I'm sure I'm missing it. Somebody's probably typing it in the comment section. But and those last, I think, special 3, shock, bleed, and poison, I think they're only going to run that event once, that particular type of Vanquishing Blow event once. But all the other ones, the light, medium, heavy attack, special 1 and 2, those will all be run several times throughout the month. So depending upon what character you're using, what star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll be earning more points for finishing with a Vanquishing Blow. And then the last way that you're going to earn points is with the brand new bounty mission, which I said I wasn't going to go into great detail with this, and basically I'm just doing the exact same thing I did in the other video. I never know where these things are going to go. I just kind of turn the microphone on and go. But the bounty missions, that was kind of the big announcement that was, do I want to call it big? I don't know. Because they talk about the fact that they're introducing these bounty missions and kind of like hint, these will probably be coming in several different iterations, maybe as a normal part of gameplay. But essentially, as you earn Valor, by doing all the other things that I mentioned leading up to this, there is a chance that you will unlock a bounty mission for your alliance, which I believe your alliance has to be at least level 10. But what will happen is if you unlock a bounty mission, you become the initiator of that bounty mission. There are four different difficulties within the bounty mission, and you need, including yourself and 14 other people, you need a total of 15 people to go in and to at least run one of the difficulty levels of the bounty mission. Each bounty mission, I think, has 10 enemies in it. You only have to fight 2 of them, and that's it. There's no like 100% exploration. You just have to go in and do one fight. If you want to do all 4 of them, you can earn Valor for all 4 of them, but you only have to go in and complete one of them to be counted towards the 15. You'll earn rewards for each one of those that you complete. Again, you'll earn Valor for each one of them, so it would be beneficial to you to go in and do all of them if you're trying to get on the Valor leaderboards. But once at least yourself and 14 other people have gone in there and done that, you as the initiator of that event will earn, in addition to the rewards for doing the bounty event, you're going to also earn an additional 100 5-star shards, which is pretty cool. The thing that I'll be interested to see is if like this bounty mission is going to be up like constantly. Like what is the chance that I trigger a Valor event? Like, if we have a Valor event going, and a bounty mission going, it drops off, will somebody else in the Alliance, like, trigger one, like, almost right away, meaning that there will almost always be one going? Which, if there's always one going, I could see that being a little bit of, like, you get burned out pretty quick on that. The other thing is, like, if I trigger a bounty mission, can I trigger another bounty mission before my Alliance member? Because that might piss somebody off. If I'm, like, triggering them constantly and getting the 100 shards, you know, and somebody else is also trying to get in there, that might rub people the wrong way, I suppose. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how it actually plays out. There's a lot of kind of speculation on all of that. But if it goes well, like I said, I think they're talking about bringing that as a normal part of gameplay. I don't know how they would tie that in to how it would be triggered. Yeah, because Valor is only going to be going for a month. I can't really see Glory triggering it in any way. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it goes well. But I would say that that's probably the biggest change that is coming. Overall, I think that what makes this event, and the reason you're earning all this Valor is to be able to spend it. There's a lot of really cool items you can spend it on. I think I probably will be focused on the T4 basics. There are T4 CC, like crystals, T4 catalyst crystals you can buy with those. Right now, though, I'm sitting on like, I don't know, like 50 T4 CC. It's coming out my eyeballs. I don't know what to do with it. but I'm always starved for T4 basics, so there's a good opportunity there to earn. I think up to 5 of them you can earn, which, like the Glory Store, every time you purchase one, it becomes more expensive to buy again. I think you can earn them, it's either 4 or 5 times. I think it's 5 times you can earn them. So you can get 5 T4 basics, which is enough to take a rank 4 up to a rank 5 as a 4-star character. That's pretty cool. There are T2 Alpha shards in there as well. That's going to be very valuable. Plus, you've got fully formed 4-star crystals and a bunch of 5-star crystal shards as well. So a lot of cool stuff. Really excited for that. Being able to earn Valor by doing things that I normally would do throughout the month, and also being rewarded for those things, being able to kind of purchase what I want is a really cool way of kind of rewarding you for your normal gameplay outside of just giving you free stuff in a calendar, which I'm not saying do away with the calendar. I'm just saying it's kind of cool to have that additional reward for your time. The other thing, though, that honestly is going to make the event exciting is the fact that they are bringing leaderboards. For a lot of people, this probably won't make any difference to you, but for people who are kind of looking for that next challenge, this is a great way to bring it to the contest without necessarily having to like bring like a heroic difficulty, really difficult event. I guess all I'm saying is it's a really easy way to bring a competitive aspect to the game. All of your Valor that you earn throughout the month is going to accumulate on a leaderboard. You'll be able to see where you track. I'll be interested to know how often they're going to update that. If they're going to update that like once a day, if that will update like, you know, every 5 minutes, every hour, who knows? I hope it updates really, really often, because that would be really, really cool to do some sort of like, kind of like a live stream, and maybe find a way to, like, I don't know, dual stream, like you got your stream going on, but then also have like a separate window browser where you're seeing the leaderboards update. That'd be really, really cool for people who are doing pushes for like the top 1,000. And the top 1,000 earn the 4-star Thor Ragnarok, which I mean, 1,000 people with the size of the community is, you know, it's not a huge amount of people, but at the same time, I think it's a good number because it's gonna keep it very, very competitive. I mean, ultimately, like if you fall in the top, I think it's top like, oh crap, I should have looked it up. I think it's like top 5,000. I might still have this pulled up here. Let me see what it is. No, it's top 10,000. If you fall between 1,001 and 10,000, and that's quite a few people. I mean, all you're gonna have to do probably is just go in, and if you're mildly active in an alliance, you're probably gonna earn yourself a 3-star Thor Ragnarok, which is pretty cool. And if you want to be super, super competitive on the leaderboards, you know, try to drop that top 1,000 to get a 4-star Thor. Or if you're going to be really, really insane, if you're in one of the top alliances, which though I guarantee you, the first spot gets the duped 5-star Thor. The 2nd through 10 spot get the just an unduped 5-star Thor. Those numbers are going to be nuts. Absolutely nuts. I think one of the biggest ways that you'll be able to influence your Valor is with the solo event, the Vanquishing Blow, which means that you're going to have to be doing fights, which means a great way to do that is in the arena. The higher you rank in the arena, the more Valor points you get, which the higher you rank, the more fights you're going to have to do, which means the more Vanquishing Blows you have active, which means the top 800 in the 4-star featured arena, it may break records. Regardless of how good or bad they are, it may break records just for people going after the Valor from those solo Vanquishing Blow events. So I would predict we'll probably see scores topping the 20 millions would be my guess. We'll see. We will see. It'll be interesting to see how it affects like the normal featured arena. Like, so you'll have like let's say the Hela one is out, then the next arena that runs will be like a rerun of a character. Let's say it's, I don't know, let's say it's She-Hulk. You know, She-Hulk probably would only go for like 7.5 million in a normal featured arena, but with the Valor points being rewarded, that may get pushed up to some crazy number. So the leaderboards in the Valor, I think, are going to do some crazy things to the 4-star basic arena. So if you are going to get him, going to get one of these 4-star characters in the featured arenas, you're going to have to put some crazy amount of points up, or you may be actually better off just buying units. I don't know, or buying crystals. We shall see. But speaking of, actually, there's one other thing I want to touch on before I move over to the new characters, Thor and Hela. The leaderboards, I think the leaderboards indicate to me that they can do this for all kinds of events. It doesn't just have to be Valor tracking. But for the love of God, can we please Kabam, get leaderboards in? If you want to keep them off the featured arena, that's fine, but can we please get them in the basic arena so that we can see kind of how many people are running, where we rank at? Because I don't say I hate, but it's just unfortunate when you have people in the basic arena and we're all guessing and we're thinking the score is going to be super high. We're all grinding like crazy when in fact the score ends up being like in the second round of the Iceman Arena, like 3.6 million. So you have people who put in tons of time and effort to put up a huge score to get him, and it was wasted time. Then you have people on the other end who didn't bother to go in because they thought the score was going to be untouchable for them. So they missed out on a very low, like 3.5 million score for Iceman. I just think the basic arena at this point, these are rerun characters. These are characters that have been in the game for a while. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't have a leaderboard in the basic arena. Again, if you want to keep the more competitive aspect going in the featured arena so people don't know where they're at, which, trust me, I would like to see it there as well. I think that would make it even more competitive. But I could understand why in the featured arena, if you wanted to keep it kind of silent there, like everybody's just kind of pushing, kind of getting a feel for what everybody else is doing. I understand that, but please, for the basic arena, can we get some leaderboards there? Also, I think the leaderboards are an awesome opportunity to pit like alliance versus alliance events. Not directly like 1v1, but have some sort of special event, whether it's a monthly event or a one-time, like a weekly event, where your alliance, everybody in your alliance is earning points, just like Summoner. Oh my God, why can't I think of the name? Summoner Advancement. There we go. Summoner Advancement. In fact, Summoner Advancement would be a great one to do. Like if you could see a leaderboard for Summoner Advancement, and it would be something, it would be totally separate. Like you would still get your Summoner Advancement rewards at the end of the event, but it would be a totally different reward system for like the top 1 alliance, top 10 alliance, top 20, 30, whatever it's going to be. That would be a really, really fun way for you to get more involved with your alliance members and push yourself towards a goal where you can see the other alliance next to you, and have some really good banter going back and forth, some really fun competitive aspect there, where you're trying to push and leapfrog alliances. You log in the next day, now you're below, now you're pushing together to try to take them down. It could even be some sort of like way back in the day when we did what event was it? I don't remember, but you used to earn like an Unstoppable Colossus as a 4-star character, and alliances would go nuts trying to get that thing. And I would love to see a actual character being rewarded for something like that, whether it be like a 5-star, 5-star Punisher or a 5-star, whatever you want it to be, and then 4 stars for people who rank a little bit further down. I don't know. I think leaderboards, the fact that they're in the game means that they can be brought to other aspects in the game, and I think it's a very easy way to bring, as I've been preaching forever now, a more competitive aspect into the game. Give you a reason to log in and to spend units and to spend so much time in the game, which ultimately will keep it moving forward, ultimately keep it alive, ultimately keep pushing money towards Kabam, which helps them in development, and so on and so forth. But it all comes back to there's got to be a reason to log into the game, and this is a very, very easy reason to do that. Okay, I think I talked about that longer than I wanted to talk about it. Thor and Hela. I didn't officially do a breakdown separate video on that. However, on the live stream Thursday night, it was brought to my attention that on Reddit, their abilities had been leaked. So if you want to, go watch the live stream on Thursday. I walk through all of that. I show it on screen. I would say we talked about it for a good 30 minutes, maybe 25, 30 minutes. And even talked about it further after that, even while I was playing. But definitely go check out that video if you have no idea about their abilities. In a nutshell, they both look like they're going to be solid characters. Again, on paper, just about everybody looks fantastic. I would say, of the two, it certainly looks like Thor is probably going to be the better character, which I'm not real disappointed with that. I think this Thor should be really good, especially since the Cosmic Thor got nerfed and he doesn't really find a great spot in the game anymore. There are better heavy-hitting cosmic characters, and he just kind of gets pushed to the back because he has no other real utility. So I really feel like Thor is a big enough character in the Marvel Universe that he needs to have a really outstanding, he needs to be a really outstanding champ in the game. I don't think necessarily that this Thor Ragnarok is by any means like a god tier. However, I would say that depending upon this damage output, the way his S3 with the armor break and then the additional damage from his signature ability, kind of all that plays together, he could be a very, very solid choice. It looks like he is going to be a skill character, which we've been talking about now for a while. They mentioned he wasn't going to be cosmic. If he wasn't going to be cosmic, it didn't make sense for him to be mystic either. He's not going to be tech, not going to be science, not going to be mutant, so that left only really one logical option, which is skill, which this gladiator version of him, he's going to at least have a shield. It talks about that with the S1. It talks about, I think, sword play with either I think it's the S2 or the S3, I can't remember. In the leaked abilities, it talks about sword play. So I don't know if we will see a Thor. What I would like to see is a Thor with a shield and some sort of like a mace, like you see in the movie trailer. But I wouldn't be upset if we saw a shield and sword. I just feel like we have enough sword characters that a mace I think would be really, really cool to see. But at some point he is going to pull out swords. And then the S3 should be really cool. He's going to chain, like, channel. He's going to channel like lightning through his fists. It should be really, really cool. He's got ability reduction, not defensive ability reduction, but ability reduction built into him as well. Depending upon the number, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, it was either the number of shocks on the enemy or the number of armor breaks that are up. So he's got some utility there as well. Hela on the other side basically looks like a pure DPS character. She's got some strange like abilities that trigger based upon like the number of characters that have died. Like if you're running like a special event and you've got 5 characters and 3 of them that have died, she gains like spirits. I don't know, it's kind of confusing. I think it's overly complicated for what it is. Basically, holding down her heavy attack gains furies, and then she's got these spirits. As long as her spirits are up, she can stack as many furies as you can possibly get on there. The spirits are on a timer. As you're attacking, the timer, I guess, builds up. While you're not attacking, the timer falls down. When the spirits fall off, you lose all of your furies. Essentially, that is her in a nutshell. It reminds me a little bit of like Kamala Khan 2.0. I am not a fan whatsoever of holding down heavy attacks. Holding down blocks is one thing because it doesn't leave you exposed. Like if the enemy runs in and attacks you, at the very least, if you can't evade, you're blocking. Like you'll be totally fine. However, if you are holding a heavy attack, unless you are like a super god tier player, if the enemy dashes forward at you and you're holding block, odds are you're not going to be able to land that heavy attack and you're fully exposed and you're taking damage. And holding down the heavy is never really something you do in the game. So in order to take advantage of like Kamala Khan, you have to like completely alter the way that you would normally play the game, and it's essentially what makes her so bad. So I'm not saying that Hela is going to be bad. I'm just saying that I'm a little bit scared that if that mechanic at all mirrors the way that Kamala's works, I am going to be a little bit scared. I will say though, if the Furies build quickly, because that's the one thing with Kamala, like you gotta hold that you gotta hold that heavy down what feels like forever before you finally get a Fury. Whereas if you're able to somehow do a special and knock them back, evade back yourself, and maybe hold the heavy for just a split second, if you're able to get one Fury, you know, maybe that will be okay. Only time will tell. I think the biggest thing between the two of them is, and it does look like she's going to be Mystic. The reason I say that is she's got a bunch of synergies with Mystic characters, Dormammu, Mephisto, and more importantly, I want to talk about Loki. Yes, Loki. Both Thor and Hela both have got really good synergies with Loki. Not necessarily for themselves, but it's a huge buff to Loki. Essentially, if you have Loki and Thor Ragnarok running together, Loki gets Ascendant not only for 1 bar of power like he would when he's awakened, but he gets it all the way up through 2 bars of power. So if you're unfamiliar with that, Loki builds power like Doctor Strange. That's his awakened ability, Ascendant, up to 1 bar of power. Once he reaches 1 bar of power, that Ascendant drops off. But with Thor, he's building power just without doing anything all the way up to 2 bars of power. Plus, when you're attacking or getting attacked, you're also building additional power. So there's a really good opportunity there for him if you're running with Thor Ragnarok to be able to build power really, really quickly and get back to that S2, which that's the big thing with Hela. The S2 is always, and you need to go read his S2 ability, but essentially, if Loki has more health than the enemy, he will do 7% guaranteed of the enemy's overall health as damage, which if that is always guaranteed with Hela, and if you also have him with Thor and you're constantly getting to that S2, even if that is capped at 50,000, you're going to be able to fire that thing off constantly, which the thing is, you do have to have your curse up in order for the S2 to work that way with Hela. But I don't know. There's just I don't want to go into great detail about it. I'm sure I'll do a separate video kind of detailing all of that with Loki if I manage to pull both or one or both of them. But it's a really interesting game mechanic with Loki. Does it make him God tier or anything? No. I think it's just a welcome change for those people who have been sitting on like 5-star Lokis for a long, long time. I don't know. I personally, I like Loki. I like the way he plays. I like the fact that his S1 with Ascendant being awakened, I like the way that works together. You can steal buffs. I really, really like the way his curse works with the S3, how there's some skill involved there in trying to keep it up with a heavy attack and with the S1, how he automatically steals enemy buffs, which triggers Mystic Dispersion as well right away. He's got some really cool mechanics about him, but the one drawback has always been that his damage output has been really, really low. So, I mean, Thor's ability, I guess, will give him a little bit of a DPS boost because you're going to get to the S2 more quickly. It's a heavy hitter than the S1. Plus, with Hela, you know, guaranteed 7% could be pretty interesting as well. I don't know. Honestly, we spent more time talking about the buffs to Loki through the synergies than we did with Thor and Hela. Not to say that I'm not excited for both of those, but I think of the two, certainly I am most excited to see Thor. One other thing I want to mention regarding MCOC here, and I think I meant to talk about this earlier, but Alliance War changes were announced, I don't know, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and I can't remember if they were in place when I did my Bottom Line podcast last week or not, but this is the first week that I actually have noticed that they have been changed, which ultimately, I don't know exactly what Kabam's end game is with Alliance Wars, because I can't honestly believe that they are that blind to how good the community is as far as gameplay. Every time they say, you know, our intention is not for everyone to get through 100% Alliance War, we're going to tweak it in this way. It's like, I can tell you right off the bat that tweak is not going to change it, and that just keeps happening over and over and over, and they go back and they say, okay, we'll change it. They make the change. It's not sufficient enough. The community says it's not sufficient enough, and we're in like this never-ending circle, it seems like, when really all they need to do is bring back Defender kills. I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know what to say at this point that has not already been said to open their eyes to the fact that unless they are going to bring back Defender kills, every alliance, especially in like tier 1 and tier 2, probably even tier 3, everybody is going to 100% the map, and the only thing that is going to determine who wins is who had the higher diversity, which, trust me, in tier 1 and 2, everybody's got the same diversity at this point. So the biggest determining factor is who had the higher Defender rating, which is, it's just wrong, man. And I don't know if they're unwilling to make the change that is needed because they have something else coming to the game that they feel is going to take the competitive aspect of the game and make that the focus, and then Alliance War is just kind of a secondary thing to do to earn rewards. I'm kind of hoping, fingers crossed, that that's what is happening, because again, I find it very hard to believe that they can't see the problem, see the solution that's right in front of them, and then willingly skip over it without some sort of ulterior motive going on. But until I see something like that come to the game, or until they change it, I'm just going to keep preaching over on Twitter. Hashtag bring back Defender kills BBDK. BBDK. Did I make that up? Bing back defender killed. Yeah. Hashtag BBDK. We should get that movement going. Although, trust me, man, there's been so many people that have talked to them on the forums, talked to them on Twitter. There's no way that they don't know it at this point. Let's move on. Let's move on from that. Let's stay positive. The Summoner Showdown. I have now done officially 2 of them. There was a third one kind of in between those that we did in a live stream just kind of spontaneously. But I will say, the technical issues that I experienced in my first Summoner Showdown have not showed up in the last 2 that I've done. They have run almost flawlessly, to be honest with you. I don't necessarily have one of those planned for tonight or this weekend, but I do plan on doing another one of those next week, which I've got a few ideas of what the event is that I want to run. I do like the damage, the pure damage output one that we did in Labyrinth of Legends, but it limits the amount of people that can get in there if they haven't completed Road to the Labyrinth. I understand that. So I'm trying to find things that kind of open up a little bit more to everybody, but also require a little bit more skill. We did the Venom boss fight in 4.3.6 with 3 stars only, which let's see, who was it? I eliminated Mystics. You couldn't use any Mystic characters, so no class advantage, and you couldn't use Ronin. But I forgot. I should have excluded Star-Lord, and I should have excluded Cap World War II. Both of those kind of break the mold there. I think what I'm going to do for future events is I'm gonna state the event, and if we do some sort of a 3-star challenge, I will set the characters specifically that you can use. Because what I would like to do for these events is not see the same characters that we use throughout the game over and over and over and over again for these events. I would like to switch it up and just have a little bit of fun, showcase your skill, and possibly do it with characters that we don't get to see a lot. So I think if we do another 3-star challenge, I'm gonna set the characters that can be used. Like for each class, I'll have maybe 3 or 4 that can be used, which I'll do my best to try to kind of keep them even across the board so that there isn't like one character that everybody's going to flock to, which if that's what happens, that's totally fine. But anyway, overall, the Summoner Showdowns I think have gone really well. The feedback that I have received has been good. I think people are really enjoying them because there's something totally different from what we normally see in MCOC live streams, something other than me just you know, running the arena, not even paying attention to it, running the arena and reading through chat, which is totally fine. There is a lot of fun to be had in all of that. Trust me, I have a lot of fun hanging out with you guys doing that. But I think having additional types of live streams to bring to the channel, I think, not that I'm trying to necessarily like set myself apart, I'm just trying to bring more to the community than what is already being done. That's kind of what I'm always trying to do. But speaking of that, I've kind of been alluding and hinting to the fact that I wanted to try and do this podcast series live at least once, and I think that I'm going to try to do that this next week, next Friday, which next Friday is the, what, the 4th? No, it's the 3rd. Next Friday is the 3rd. And I don't really have a full understanding of how I want to do this yet. The idea is that I would go live like a normal live stream, and I'll have, it won't necessarily be like gameplay. You know, the live stream will probably be, you know, a giant version of my face in front of my microphone. We'll have the chat going next to me so you can see what everybody's talking about later if you want to watch it back. But I'll have my list of things that I want to talk about that have happened throughout the week, just like I normally do here. Anything that I want to say, any additions, just anything that's going on in the community. So we'll cover all that. You guys can kind of chime in. I'll get some feedback and input from the chat, from the people that are watching. We'll talk about all of that. And then I think it would be a really good opportunity for people, specifically subscribers, and probably, I don't really know how to limit it at this point, but maybe sponsors. You know, if somebody is a sponsor, they'll probably get first priority. But an opportunity for people to actually hop into the live stream, whether it be on Skype, or probably the way that we're going to do it is just through a voice chat over on the Discord server, which if you are not on my Discord server, the link, you'll find that down in the description below. Do please join that. Have a lot of fun there every day, just hanging out with everybody. I find myself going to that more than I go to Twitter now. It's just, like I said, a good place to hang out. We've got the Club 801 sponsor there as well. I have a fun time talking with everybody. But there is a voice channel that I can make there and kind of add people in and out. I don't know. Maybe nobody wants to jump on and talk to me. maybe, I don't know. I've always got kind of in my mind like this picture of what people look like and then what I think that they would sound like. So I think actually like being able to hear people's voice would be pretty funny. Whether you want to talk about and give, you know, commentary about whatever we're talking about for that podcast. If you just want to say hello or, you know, whatever you want to do, as long as it's clean. I don't necessarily want anybody just jumping on and going on like a curse-laced like tyrant against Gabam, which I'm looking at you, Cameron. I'm looking right at you, Cameron. But anyway, it should be quite a bit of fun. Anyway, stay tuned to the channel. I will be giving more details in the coming week as we get closer to that, but I'll shoot for hopefully doing that next Friday. And I would like to do it. Here's the thing. If I do it during the day, I basically only have an hour. Like I've got my lunch break where I know I can lock the door, shut the lights off, turn the phones off. People know I'm on lunch for an hour and I can sit down and talk with everybody. But an hour is going to go by really, really fast. But if I did this like Friday night, I think it might give more people an opportunity. You know, they're off work. If they wanted to like jump in like the voice chat, it might be easier for them to do that. So I think normally, even though I do put my podcast out, you know, during the days on Friday, I think if I do this live, I probably will shoot to do it more towards an evening, which I think I also would like to bring on a special guest, maybe not to commentate for the whole thing, but just somebody that I can maybe introduce to the channel. I've got a few people in mind right now, but probably some of you are aware of them. Some people probably are not. But anyway, we'll have all of that coming to the channel next week, so just stay tuned. All right, what else? We got anything else to say? Oh, the Cuphead series is going really well. It's not getting a ton of views, but honestly, I'm very, very happy with it. I'm having a lot of fun playing it, getting lots of good feedback. It's a great place for me to practice my commentary skills. And I think we're 7 videos deep into that series. That game is so much fun. It's a Let's Play. If you haven't checked it out, it's the first one I've ever done. Certainly go check it out. And then I also introduced a game called Fortnite Battle Royale, which is free to play. I'm sure many of you have seen this on YouTube or Twitch if you're over on Twitch. It's very, very popular. It's like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, except it's more cartoony. And again, like I said, it's free to play. But I'm having a lot of fun. I'm terrible. I am absolutely terrible at that game. I grew up playing shooters on console, so I'm not used to the whole like mouse clicking, shooting, D-pad kind of thing. I'm just not very good at it. It's going to take me a lot of practice to get to the point where I'm not embarrassing myself in every single video. But if I haven't already posted, I do have a second video coming to the channel. So I guess if you're listening to this first, it probably will be up at some point today, Friday. But anyway, outside of that, I think the next series we'll bring to the channel, unless something just drops into my lap that I wasn't expecting, as I've said many times before, big fan of Star Wars, the original Battlefront, way back in the day on PS2, so I'm very, very much looking forward to getting back into the Battlefront series here with Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is dropping on November the, oh god, don't quote me, 17th, I think it is. Planning to do a really long live stream during that day as kind of a launch event, kind of kickoff. Should be a lot of fun, so stay tuned for that. All right, lots of stuff coming to the channel. Very excited for all of it. I appreciate you guys' support through everything, sticking with me. If you have any questions, any comments on anything I've mentioned, feel free to leave them here. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on my Discord server. The links to that are in the description below. Until I see you all in the next video, have a great weekend. Stay safe.